Hi, I'm Guy Sanders from Housing and Residence Life. This is Adrian Scott, one of our student staff, front desk workers. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the email that we just sent in regards to the next phase of the returning student process. Let me cover a few points, and I'm going to let Adrian ask some questions that she's been getting at the front desk from students like yourself wondering what's going on with the process. So first of all, this is not unusual. We normally have 300 to 400 students, at least, sometimes as many as 500, who cannot assign themselves. Right now we're at about 300. What we also have is about 500 students who cancel their housing between now and August. And they do so for a variety of reasons. You could probably know they transfer, they go to a different school, they decide to stay home for a semester, they decide to live someplace else. So it's not unusual for us, one, to have people that can't assign themselves to housing, and two, that we have a lot of people that will be leaving us that will allow those students to assign themselves. So what's going to happen next? Well, if you have a space right now and you're good, you probably can turn the video off and go on, because nothing else much is going to happen. If you're in a space that you don't like, please continue to listen, because we'll tell you about how you might want to deassign yourself and put yourself back out there and get yourself reassigned. And finally, for those students that have not been able to pick a spot, it's really important so you understand how you're going to get assigned. Beginning on April 16th at about 11 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be able to go back into Artemis and start looking around for rooms, just like you did the first time your window opened up. You're not going to probably see a whole lot of spaces, except maybe a few in Spartan Village. But what you're going to see over the next couple of months is a number of different spaces open up and an opportunity for you to put yourself in. So what you'll need to do is sort of check each day. I'd encourage you to look in the morning, look in the afternoon, and keep an eye open for a space that you want to live in. Now, it might not be the perfect space that you've always wanted to be in, but it will be a space on campus, and that's all we can guarantee you, is that you're going to get a space on campus. So keep looking, try to find something. If you have a roommate that you want to bring in, it may be a little bit more difficult. The most important thing is for both of you to get a space, because then you're going to be able to do some bargaining with other students in sense of changing. One of the key things that you need to remember is that that you can only be assigned to one space at a time. So if you don't like the space you're in, then you're going to have to deassign. In the email that we sent, we gave you a link so you can deassign yourself. And what that really means is you're not canceling your housing. It just means you want to be taken out of your space and have an opportunity to go back in and pick another room. You can't hold both spaces at the same time. So you can't say, well, I want to go look, but I want to still keep that other space. Once you give that space up, it's gone. Most likely somebody else will like it and jump in there and try to take it. So those are sort of the real basics we're going on. So I'm going to ask Adrian to sort of kind of give me some of the questions that she's been getting from people like you.
So one question that a lot of students have been asking is that they really want a particular room in a particular hall. And so they ask what process they should go about to get that room that they want. Okay.
So that's a real challenge, because once again, a particular room is something we really can't guarantee. If somebody's already signed up for it, you can just wait and hope that maybe they will drop out. But most likely you're not going to get that space. What we would ask you to do is to try to look for other spaces within that hall or that type of hall. So for example, if you want to live in the quad and in say Coit, maybe you can't get the space in Coit, but maybe you can get it in Jameson or Hinshaw or Shaw. Most of the rooms are pretty similar. And as I said, the most important thing is to get a space in the hall. Once you've done that, if you want to try to trade halls, we're going to have a room change form in which you can put your information up and let students know, hey, I live in this hall. Is somebody interested in moving to this? Because maybe there is another person that wants to be in the space that you're in.
Now, if I know someone who is going to cancel their housing, is there any way that I could be placed in that person's spot if I know that they're canceling?
And that's a good question, because as people will be canceling, and sometimes those people will say to their roommates, hey, I'm going to cancel, do you want to bring somebody else in? And we can do that, but we need to know who that person is before that other person cancels, because as soon as they cancel and we take them out, that space will be filled by somebody else who will basically put themselves in. But if you can find out that they're going to do it, what we can do is to have you email the name of the person that you want to bring in with their UNCG ID number, and they're going to need to email in. And then during some of our maintenance periods, and each day there'll be an hour where we'll shut the system down where you won't be able to pick a room, we can make that sort of manual change. Now, if you just want to like open it up and just bring anybody in, we really don't do that. It's not your space that you're leaving when you're canceling. It's really we're trying to help the roommate who may have another friend that fits that.
And then what if I want to live with a particular person?
And that's going to always be a challenge unless we can find 2 spaces. You know, right now, the best place for that to happen is Spartan Village, because we still have a number of apartments that have more than one room available, and each person has a private room. But in particular for double rooms, the challenge will be is to talk to that roommate that you're with and ask them if they'd be willing to switch with the person that you want to bring in. And so that's why it's really important for both of you who want to live together to get an assigned space. You really can't have that person switch with not assigned. So if you have a friend that hasn't been assigned, the first thing is they need to get into a space. Then they have some bargaining power to sort of ask. And it may mean that you go to where they are or that your friend comes to you. And to talk with the other students. I put in the letter a link to Class of 2016 Facebook. I think Facebook's a good way for people to talk with each other, kind of say, here I am, do you have this kind of a space? Put that out there. Housing Residence Life has a room change Facebook page also, but we're going to have a specific Google Doc in which you're going to be able to put your information in and ask, see if other people want to change with you.
Now, what if I decide that I do not want to live on campus anymore? Am I allowed to cancel?
Absolutely. If you get frustrated or you find something better or your plans have changed, you can cancel. The first thing I need to let you know, that $200 prepayment you made, you're not getting that back. That is non-refundable. It's not coming back. But there are some cancellation deadlines you need to be aware of, because otherwise you're going to be charged an additional amount. So if you cancel before June 1st, no additional charges. If you cancel after June 1st, you will be charged $250. The only exception to that is if you're not assigned to a room on June 1st, then you won't face a cancellation deadline until you've been assigned, and then it will come 5 business days after you've been assigned. Now that's only for people who are not assigned on April 16th. If you de-assign yourself later, in May or something, and then don't find a room and then decide to cancel after June 1st, you will be charged that $250. And that's outlined in the email that we sent. And if you look at the housing contract, it's pretty clear there. There's another $250 cancellation on top of that if you wait as late as, say, July 1st to cancel. So be very much aware of those cancellation dates, particularly if you're not sure if you're going to live, because you could cost yourself a good chunk of money. Other questions?
Not that I can think of.
Well, one of the things that I encourage you to do is to come in and see people like Adrian at the front desk. They'd be happy to answer your questions. They can help you with the computer. If you have issues with Artemis, they can do that and make sure that you get your assignment. The biggest thing I want to make sure that you understand is you're guaranteed housing. You're going to get a place to stay. It may take a while. If you had to have a place to stay in a week from now, we'd have a problem. We couldn't get you in. But you're not going to be moving in until August, and we can do a lot of things, and you'll be able to assign yourself to a room sometime between then. So I appreciate your patience, particularly for those of you who are not assigned yet. We hope to work with you and make sure that you are assigned by the time you move in August. Take care.